Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Sorry for my little my delay, my little 7-second delay. Welcome, welcome. It is Thursday evening. It is time for prophetic word and prayer. My name is Rebecca Johns. If you are new to my channels, welcome. I'm glad you're here tonight. We are live not only on TikTok, but we are live on YouTube, Twitter, and in our group on Facebook, Activating Your Great I Am. Please feel free to say hi. Let me know that you are online and present, especially if you are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Put a comment down in the chat and put your name. Let me know that you are here tonight. If you are on TikTok, tap those screens. Great to be with you all. Very often in our evenings, I'm live Monday evening 9, where we're talking about the Aramaic, and I'm live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And very often in this evening hour, we gather for prayer, and I do take prayer requests. I'm happy to pray for any of you who have a prayer need. But I also offer a prophetic word. A prophetic word. Good to see you, Chisler. Hello to those of you on Facebook. Good to see you. For those of you who might wonder, what is a prophetic word? The gift of prophecy, which you can read in Holy Scripture, that is not only known among biblical and with biblical expression, but many faiths believe that there are people who are gifted in spirit and by spirit to communicate with spirit. And that, awesome. We already have a praise report. Thanks for praying for my dad. His surgery went well. Wonderful. And so it is believed by many that people are gifted with the ability to commune with spirit and receive communications that are highest and best for the recipient. It is wisdom from the spiritual realm. To be someone who flows in the prophetic is to be someone who is flowing with the power of the Spirit, communicating and bringing wisdom from the spirit realm to the physical realm. So I'd like to start off this evening by praying. I know that we already have a prayer request for a wife and husband in their relationship. So I want to pray for marriages right now. I want to pray for marriages that are happening now. You're already married. I want to pray for the marriages that are not yet married. You're dating, you're engaged, you're considering marriage. I want to pray for y'all. And I want to pray for those who have separated, possibly even divorced, that what is highest and best will be done. Let's pray. Creator, we thank you for blessing those with the marriage mind, those with marriage on their heart, those with marriage in their lives as something that is happening, wanting to happen, or something that has happened. And Creator, I ask you to breathe breath into those situations, into those people. Breathe your breath, which is life itself. That what is meant to be new be done. That what is meant to be in the situation today, fresh, in the now, that is fulfilled. So it is, as we agree. Stormy, big prayers. The first since she passed. You're not a passing. I totally understand. Those firsts can be very difficult. Those firsts. We will pray again in a little bit for people dealing with grief, sorrow, sadness, and losses. If you are one of my moderators on tonight on TikTok, if you would please drop an M down in the chat so that we can welcome you and acknowledge you and say thank you. Super duper thank you for being here tonight. Stormy, Drea, and Katrina, please go give a follow and a like to their channels. Crystal won. What you talking about, Willis? Crystal's just getting on the bandwagon. She's like, oh, are we typing M's? I'll do an M. It's all good. We love you. You're not a moderator, but we love you. All right. So let's start, shall we? Let's start. If you are someone here for a prophetic word tonight, would you please drop the word word down in the chat? Put the word word down in the chat. If you're someone who would like prophetic word, put the word word in the chat. Emiluhu, it is really important that you understand that you cannot be around the darkness and be disappointed that there is not light. You're allowing yourself to be in circumstances that are not as bright as you, not as high vibe as you. They're not what's best for you. They're, for some reason, whatever has become habit and comfortable, but they're really not what's best for you. And it's time to break out of circles, cultures, climates, conditions, relationships, environments, narratives that really are not what's best for you. Yes, that is for Facebook too. All of you anywhere. I'm looking at a thread that is Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter on my laptop, and I've got TikTok here on my phone. So yes, all of you, everyone, everywhere, if you're desiring a word be spoken to you tonight, please just put word in the chat. Rose Fierro, your expression, your creative expression doesn't have to be compromised by structure, but structure is really important. You need to be more organized, more disciplined with organization. However, that being said, don't hear it as something that has to squelch your creativity. Let it be the thing that amplifies and demonstrates and presents your creativity. Jennifer, good to see you, honey. Welcome, Jennifer. Put yourself first a little bit. It is natural to want to be of service. It's natural to think you've got to get things done. It's natural to need to get things done, my friends. It's natural to need to. It's natural to want to. But you have to put yourself, your peace of mind, as a priority. And so there's some things for your well-being. There's some things for your own peace that need to happen. And you have to not feel bad doing so. Mama Marquez, your feelings are not always accurate. And so it's really important that you have a sounding board, some place to put your feelings and process your feelings so that you can think clearly. Sometimes when we're not thinking clearly, it's because our emotions are stirring the pot of everything so much that we're overwhelmed to create clear thought. So sometimes you have to go purge, process, clear emotionally so that mentally you can be present. Drea, did you mean to mute him? Because that was actually a really good question. Was that an accident? You're welcome, friends. Sorry, William. I think we were trying to pin your comment, and instead you got muted. So give us a second. We'll try to fix that. In the meantime, let me jump over here. Listen, that's why I have moderators, because if I'm in here pushing buttons, all of you would be blocked accidentally. I don't even know how. I would just do it. So, all right. Chisler's over here on Facebook asking for a word. Chisler, fear not. Fear not. As a matter of fact, I want to send you something. Drea, go to the list of people that are listening tonight. Go click the number of people that are up. It'll say the names, and his name is William. There you go. All right, William the Wandering Ego, I hope you're still present. Would you please restate your question? Sorry, buddy. Am I here? Christina, you are here. Chisler, fear not. As a matter of fact, fear's got some advice for you. And it's not boo. It's not get away. Okay? It's not. Fear counsels us for safety. Fear counsels us for strategy. Fear counsels us on our value. Fear is an advisor. Every emotion you have is an advisor. So do not fear the emotion of fear. Let fear speak. And I've got a worksheet that I'll send you to. Inbox me so I'll remember. But inbox me and I will send you a PDF of something. Okay. William says, I know scripture says to give God control, but how does one release and surrender our control? Whew. Is that not a question of the ages? William, I earnestly believe that surrender is a practice. I believe that surrender is a key part of a discipline. In Aramaic, we say slotha. For the word prayer, we say slotha. And it is, the root word is sla. It means to set a trap. So in the Aramaic, in the ancient language of the Aramaic, when we say slotha, to pray, we mean to say, to set a trap for the mind of God, that we would have the mind of God with us. Because in the ancient text, it doesn't say the word became flesh. It says miltha, milthet alaha, the mind of God took flesh form. Right? That's why we see in the New Testament. What does it say in Romans? The transformation of your life begins with the renewing of your mind. And so what you are talking about is, how do I surrender your mind? Is to consciously call on the mind of God to take its place. I think one of my favorite ways of praying over the last 10 years that was specifically to say this prayer: Creator God, take my thoughts away from me. Take my thoughts and replace them with my own, with your own. Take my opinions, replace them with yours. Take my emotions, replace them with yours. Take them. I surrender them by saying to you, I surrender them. And I invoke yours by saying, I invoke yours. And so it is. And I practice that day in and day out. I practice it. I offer it. So that I'm conditioning myself. If what prayer is in the ancient East is to set a trap for the mind of Creator, then I want to tune into that vibrational frequency with my thinking, with my speaking, with my emoting. With my thinking, with my speaking, with my emoting, with all my heart, means I'm emotionally engaged in that thing as well. I am emotionally engaged with all my heart, means I'm emotionally engaged. So I mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually am surrendering myself over to the vibration, to the frequency, to the spirit of the Most High. And I do it as a practice. So it's not this thing I do one time and I'm like, did it work? It's something that we practice and practice and practice. I hope that answers your question, Will, and thanks for being a good sport about being blocked. And by the way, we have a group on Facebook called Activating Your Great I Am, and I would love to have you over there. Additionally, if you'd like a courtesy consultation, you're welcome to click the link in my bio or visit my website, livinggodspromises.com, livinggodspromises.com. And if you go to that website, you can click and schedule a connect call. And that connect call is going to help you and me get a one-on-one scheduled and on the books. All right. Ahu Amon. Yes, I'm okay. I'm better than okay. I'm fabulous. Thank you for asking. All right, let me get back up here to the words that I was trying to give. You're hilarious, Andrea. She said that's why I stick to the 411. Peculiar Carol, your health is really important. Your health, nutrition, rest, hydration, taking care of your physical body. Super important right now. Eugenia, just because you don't necessarily fit in doesn't mean you don't belong. You might not fit somewhere. You might seem like the odd person out, odd man out, but it doesn't mean you don't belong there. Sometimes fitting in is not why we are someplace. Sometimes being the odd man out, leading something different, bringing a new flavor, expressing ourselves candidly, being true to ourselves, sometimes that's why we are someplace, so that we can bring a breath of fresh air into the environment. Katrina, step by step. Everything happens in processes. I know it might seem like one day you're here and the next you're there, but really every single thing is a process. Everything's a process. Sun up, sun down, go from 5 years old to 6 years old, move from your mom and dad's house to your own apartment. Everything's a process. But those processes are really the culmination of a lot of little steps. We arrive at a place because of all the little steps we've taken, little steps. And so focus on the step that's right in front of you. Because if you're focusing on the destination, it can be overwhelming. You won't even get in the car. It's like if you really knew the whole destination all the way through, you might not even want to take the trip. So just do the mile in front of you. Thank you to everyone who is liking, sharing, gifting over here on TikTok. Really appreciate y'all. Just want to make sure, am I missing anybody over here in the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter land? I just saw my husband liked my my Twitter live. We're adjusting to this new platform where I can be in a lot of different places at one time. So thank you for everyone who's kind of enduring the learning curve with us. Boy mama, feelings are okay. Feelings are really okay. It is totally okay to have feelings, express feelings, communicate feelings. To try to make ourselves emotionless is to completely kill ourselves, because we're meant to be feeling beings, right? I'm supposed to feel heat And if it's too hot, pull away from it. I'm supposed to feel love and draw near. I'm supposed to feel feelings. I'm supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel. And so it's not bad. Having the feelings in and of itself is not bad. It's the how we process them or not that starts to create struggles and troubles. And if y'all need help with any of that, some of you that are new to the scene, I am a certified holistic health practitioner, a purpose coach, and ordained minister of the gospel. And so my interest is to help people stop suffering in life. If you would like, you can click the link in my bio, schedule sessions, you can get into the classes, etc. Eloise, good to see you. I called you. Good to see you, Eloise. Good to see you. Listen, right now, the Spirit is telling me to tell you that it might seem like it right now in this season, you feel like a little part of the whole world, like you're a little tiny piece. Like, where am I? I thought I was here. Why don't I feel like I'm way in the background of life? But background or foreground is still on the ground. And at the back of this photo or the front of the photo, you're still in the photo. So don't worry so much about your position right now. You are alive, you are well, and how you are meant to be used and be living is happening. Let the process be the process. All right. Oops. You're welcome, boy mama. Oh, PV Sunshine, what to do when your son leaves and moves in with his girlfriend and doesn't communicate anymore? Number one, breathe a lot and pray a lot, mamas. All you mamas that your kids are moving into a new season of life, you got to let them go. You got to let them go. It doesn't mean you can't. Sorry, I'm dealing with severe neck and back pain. Some of you know I was in a car accident a couple years ago, and I'm not. I pray one day that there'll be healing, complete healing from it. But right now I am not there, and I deal with significant pain. You know, if you will love people while they're going through something, even if it means loving them at a distance, you really do win them back. It's when we're pulling at them while they're trying to do something else, while they're organically being called in their hearts and in their spirits, they're being called to some new place and space in their lives that they need to go in. When we're pulling on them to go the other direction, to stay, they resist us and pull away. But when they are moving on and we bless them and let them go, they're likely to draw back and near. It's the love that keeps them connected. So don't withdraw your love. Keep loving, keep praying, and let them go. And that doesn't mean you can't say, I miss you, when are you coming over? It doesn't mean you can't say, Saturday, dinner, my place, you guys want to come? It doesn't mean you can't work to invite and build bridges. It just means we give them space. Thank you, little Bonnie, for praying for my neck. I really do appreciate it. Little Bonnie, you stay prayed up. Stay prayed up and stay transparent. When you're starting a new relationship and you're afraid that your past is going to, oh my gosh, thank you. When you're afraid that your past is going to sneak up on you, be honest about it. Be transparent. Other people are dealing with their past too. You are not alone. Okay? You're not alone. You're not alone. Everybody's dealing with the same thing, and that's the human condition. And if we will be honest and responsible for our human condition, you'd be amazed at what other people are so absolutely ready to forgive and embrace and love and all that jazz. Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
You gonna come say goodnight to me while I'm on my live?
Mm-hmm.
My nephew. Say hi.
Hi.
Right there. And then say hi over here.
Hi.
I love you. Thanks for coming over. Do I get to come over tomorrow and swim at your house?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Tell mom and dad and everybody I said hi. Named after my father. Little man, my nephew, came and spent the day. Thank you very much. He is adorable, isn't he? If you go to my Facebook page and you see the pictures of us for the 4th of July, we were at their house, and you'll see him and my son in the pool together. They're adorable. They're adorable. Thank you very much. Appreciate you giving me a moment for me to pause here. All right, let me get back to the word I was giving. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. If you're tuning in newly, we are giving a word, prophetic word and prayer tonight. I think I got everyone. Eloise. GMC. Garrett, good to see you. Don't worry, buddy. I'm sorry that you missed the class. I saw the message too late. I apologize for any confusion, and don't worry, you'll get the recording, and we'll see you next session. Okay, word, Garrett. Garrett, healing can't be half-stepped. The scary part about healing is that it's all in. The scary part about it is that it's a trust fall with God. It is a personal relationship between you and God thing. Those of you that are in a healing process, you are in a personal dance. Your human is in a private dance with Creator. It's in a personal dance. And so you've got to breathe and trust yourself. You've got to breathe. That's Creator. Breath, that's God. That's the spirit in you, breath. So when you breathe, you have to genuinely settle it into yourself and be prayerful and considerate, and then make your choices and be bold when you make them. You don't be hesitant. You be prayerful. You breathe. You connect with the Creator. You ask for direction. You get the urging of the Spirit. You move in that direction boldly. And do not half-step it. Do not half-step it. Landon, bring your goals into focus. What are your goals? What are you aiming for? Whether it's something with your weight or your money or your career or your family or your future family, you know, how you see things in the future, wherever, if it's something immediate now in the present, short term or long term, bring it to focus. Do not let it leave your mind. When things leave your mind and come back to mind and leave your mind and come back to mind, that's like starting the car and stopping the car and starting the car and stopping the car. You have to keep things in focus. When you lose focus, over time, they fall away. And then you're like, man, I always wanted that, and I never did it. Yes, because other things took focus. So you have to be deliberate with your focus. You've got to be intentional with your attention. Is your attention on what you have your intention on? Or did you intend to do something, but then you put your attention in 20 different places, and then you didn't do the thing you intended to? Do you ever do that? You ever walk into a grocery store and you're like, eggs. got to get eggs. And you walk into a grocery store and you get chicken and celery and the new People magazine and some cat treats, and and then you get into the car and you're like, I didn't even get the eggs. Yes, because your attention was on other things than your intention. And that's why we say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because it's a bunch of good intentions, but it's a poor execution of attention on those intentions, and therefore we're left unfulfilled and dissatisfied. So, Landon, focus. What's important to you? Bring it to focus. Keep it right here. I can't even see the complete screens in front of me, not just because I'm blind in my right eye, but because this hand of mine is in a place where I can't help, but it takes my attention. I can see parts of my screen, but then I keep looking down at my hand because it's blocking my view. You need to put stuff that's important to you in a place that it blocks your view. My husband blocks my view. I can't see another man. My husband blocks my view. Why? Because he's standing in front of me like, don't look, don't look at them, don't look at them, don't look at them. No, he doesn't do any of that. I have my attention on my intention, which is that I'm a one-man woman. So I'm the one that secures that. He doesn't secure that I'm a one-man woman. I secure that I'm a one-man woman because my attention is on my intention. He might do stuff. I might get upset. I might be in a mood and I might get upset. But what I do not do, no matter what is happening, is put my attention that should be his and give it to another man. Attention, intention. You are very welcome, Jessica. I'm glad you are benefiting. She said over here on TikTok, this is so powerful. Thank you for ministering to us this way. Mama Marquez says, well said. Right on, sisters. Right on. PV, do I just give up and wait for our son to come back? He might not. He might not. He might not. And I can't really speak a lot into your personal situation. I don't want to overstep because I don't know your details. But spiritually speaking, what I am led to say to you is, unless he is a minor, like under the age of 18, for whom you are still responsible, then you have to honor his wishes as a man. And we have to allow our children, they'll always be our children because they came from us. But they will not always be our children, meaning they will not always be children. They'll be adults. So we have to create a dance in ourselves as parents to let them go, be adults, while still loving them as our children. It's one of the hardest things I think that we're asked to do as parents. Raising them, we complain the whole time we're raising them. We got some snot to talk while we're raising them. We don't even know the hardest part that's coming, and that's watching them walk out the door. So if you still have your children in your house, love them, appreciate them, cherish them, because you don't even know the blow to your heart when the one you love walks out the door and you don't know where they're laying. You don't know what they're wearing. You don't know if they're eating. You don't know if they're handling their money right. All right. Oops. Hold on. I'm hitting buttons over here. All right. If I'm going to quit scrolling, if you asked for a word and I didn't give you one, would you please put word in the comments again from earlier? Not you new people. You new guys, Tova, Juicy, Rita, Pita. I see you. I see y'all new ones. The old peeps. There were people here that have been here for a minute and I didn't get to them. So those are the ones I want to make sure that I'm getting back around the mountain. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Big cleansing breath. Big cleansing breath. All right. Tova. Tova. Let the joy of your soul light your path. Not what you should do, not what you shouldn't do, not what they think that you should do, not that they think what you should do, but the light of your soul, that which is true to your spirit that is calling you, go that direction and do not debate. Juicy, you got to have priorities that honor your soul. Listen, friends, we can't have priorities that honor our human and abandon our souls and then wonder why stuff isn't the way we really, really, really want it. Why we're really, really, really like what we want. Why we're not really happy. Why we're not like, that thing. Prioritize to your soul. Everybody and everything else can get in line after that. You prioritize to your soul person, and your human and everybody else's human will organize around it. The sun and the moon will organize around it. Truly. Rita Pita, do not be afraid to be your fabulousness. Do not. Listen, y'all, you are made to be you. You are made to be you. Whether you're the thunder or you're the lightning. Whether you are the rain or you are the leaves on the tree. You're made to be you. Whether you're a yellow apple, golden apple, green apple, red apple, some cherries, you're made to be you. And we don't need you being anything else. We don't. We don't benefit when you're something else. I get no value walking into my grocery store thinking I'm grabbing a cucumber when really it's some watermelon. That does nothing for me. They're not the same. They're not interchangeable. There's one of you. So be that. They just left to take my nephew home, Tova, so nobody's here to help me. Why? Can you feel my pain? I'm in like an excruciating pain. This is like quite significant. Whew. All right. All right, hold on, you guys. I got to do something. Oh, man, it's not over here. Shoot. All right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'll probably just wrap up a couple of minutes early if necessary. All right, hold on. I like the parentheses, though, Tova. That was cute. Okay. A-Marie Jealous. A-Marie Jealous. It's funny that you would be right after the last person that I gave this word to, but you're the bomb. Stop acting like you're not. Create the programs you want to teach. Thank you for whoever's praying for me on Facebook. I'm really grateful for that. Create the programs you want to teach. Be the impact into the community that you want to be, the consciousness that you want to shift in the world with your craft, your way, your message, your method. Don't not do that. And if you need a coach, schedule an appointment with me. I will help you make sure it happens. Listen, some of y'all are not getting held to account. And so you're not making your plans demand to exist. Your plans have to have permission to demand something of you and get their way. Sometimes we're so used to when someone demands, we resist, that we don't even understand our own demands. Your spirit is demanding something of you. I encourage you to let it have its way. Let your spirit have its way. It did all this work to manifest here. Let it have its way. Be who you're made to be. Jessica Haggy. Is that how you say your last name, honey? Jessica Haggy? Um, so you and I should probably talk offline, first of all. So if you'd like, schedule a link, or my scheduling link is in my bio right here, and you can book an appointment. It's called a Connect call. It's free, and it gives us like 15, 20 minutes for a meet and greet. But Jessica, you're extraordinarily powerful, and you are here to lead a healing movement. And I honestly don't know sitting here right now if that means start your own or join mine. And I'm not attached because I don't do square pegs and round holes, and the Lord always provides, so I'm good, whatever. But we should talk because there's a ton of experience that I have, like so much, like a lot, that'll save you 25 to 30 years of life. But you're here to make an impact, and don't let the urge to be humble and supportive of others, don't let that put you in the back seat. All right. Zach Matthews. Hey, buddy. Listen, I know everyone and their, crickets need something from you right now, but it's really important that you make true well being a priority for yourself. That you are mentally and emotionally clear, that you're spiritually grounded, that you're physically getting the rest you need, you're drinking water to stay hydrated, you're eating some fresh food. When I say fresh, I mean like some fruits and vegetables. Your well-being. Okay. Happy Higginson. I love that your name is Happy Higginson, because here's the word for you, my darling. Sometimes you're not happy, and you've got to have a place to go process that. Listen, those of us who are the strong pillars for our households, our communities, our friend group, whatever, at work, you strong ones, please make sure that you've got some place to process out when you're not strong. Please make sure that you're not giving and then not receiving, because that creates bankruptcy. To put out and not get in creates bankruptcy. And there really is such a thing as mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, sexual bankruptcy. We can bankrupt ourselves. We can have too much output and not enough input and really harm ourselves. So if you don't have that space already, sister, feel free to schedule a connect call with me and we can get acquainted and talk. I'm happy to pray with you, support you. And also, I encourage you to get connected to our Facebook community, y'all. We have a fantastic community group on Facebook. It's called Activating Your Great I Am. And if you go to livinggodspromises.com, you will see a little Facebook link on the page, and that will take you directly to Activating Your Great I Am, so that you can be part of a community of people who are deconstructing Christianity, standing boldly in spirit, really growing in faith, healing mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and functioning as change makers, the agents of change in their lives and in their families. That's what Activating Your Great I Am Facebook group page is really about. That's what that is. But good to see you, Happy. God bless you. Mama Marquez, how what? Um, DJ, DJ. Who said that? Who said, as always, my friend, great words tonight, miss you? Someone on Facebook. Where's Jackie? Jackie's not on tonight, is she? I need to figure out this platform because I'm using this different platform and I don't know. Show. Don't show. Oh, no, but it doesn't tell me who it is. Love to you, whoever that is. DJ, don't be afraid of making mistakes, DJ. Don't be afraid. Fear is not going to get you anything. Fear is not going to take you anywhere. Hey, Tracy, good to see you, sis. Really good to see you. Fear is not going to take you anywhere. So if you do something and you make a mistake, just know that you really can go and choose again. Listen, mistakes happen. It's part of growing. Can you imagine if we just sat waiting for the gift of walking to happen to us and we didn't bother trying to learn to walk? Well, I don't know how to walk yet, so I don't walk. Yeah, but that's how you're going to learn, is walking. Oh, I don't play basketball. Why? Because I don't know how to play basketball. Well, get out there and practice. Right? That's what my son said to me going to football camp a couple of weeks ago. I said, what are you most nervous about with this camp? And he's like, not knowing what to do. And I'm like, but that's the point of the camp. They're going to teach you what to do. He goes, yeah, I know, but still. Right? So it's natural to be afraid to not know how to do something or be afraid that we're going to mess things up. But what I want to encourage DJ and all of you really is fear not. Fear not. You fall down, you get back up, you do it again. And DJ, I'm 50 years old. I'm on my second marriage. I got 6 kids, plus 1 in heaven. I've buried my parents. I've had a bunch of different jobs. And there are things that I would not do again, for sure. There are things I would make sure I don't do again. But there's nothing that I regret. There's nothing I regret. Tabby Baker. Tabby Baker, are you trying to be famous? What do you do, Tabby? It's really the problem is looking up at this TikTok thing. It's not the right level, and I can't fix my tripod. Hold on, I'm doing a neck stretch. Okay. She says, Tabby Baker, 470 followers. Y'all go follow Tabby. All things silly and creative, sass, glitter, bows, and things that glow. Are you trying to have, what are you trying to do, sis? I sing a little bit, but not really in front of people. All right, listen. That sounds exactly like my oldest when he started baseball, right? Do you have a business? I feel a little fame and fortune on you, Miss Tabby. So if you're open to it, schedule a connect call. I'm happy to give you a more extended word. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Girl, I'm a stay-at-home mom too. You didn't know? I do not go anywhere to work. I do not leave my house most days. I am recovering from an accident that almost killed me. I go to physical therapy. You know what, Hugh Janice? Isn't that hilarious? It's really funny, the mythology of the scripture. And I'm glad that you've stopped by because while it is kind of a snarky and funny question, it's a legitimate question. And if you're someone who's actually interested in answers to questions regarding the Bible, I'm a really good person to talk to. I am studied in the Aramaic language and the Semitic view of the scripture. My family came from that part of the world and we carry a lot of the tradition, but we also have an understanding of what is true tradition from culture versus what is of spirituality. So there are things that have been taken literally that are idioms and symbolisms, and other things that are idioms and symbolisms that have been, some have been taken literally when they weren't, and some were taken not literally when they were. So it's funny, human beings and an ancient culture that they've not really learned to understand. Tabby says my daughter has special needs. Bless you, sis. Schedule a connect call with me, Tabby. I feel like you've got some magic on you. You've got there's something that naturally is in you that wants to get used for you to be entrepreneurial. You have a je ne sais quoi, a something that's inside of you that is wanting to be expressed. See, y'all, you're so busy discounting yourselves and saying what you're not that you might be missing hearing and seeing what you really are. All right, I can't get my screen to move. Um, uh, all right, I got to write this down so I can quit looking up. Teresa, did I already give you a word? I don't think I did. Oh my gosh, I literally can't look up anymore. Oh. All right. I wrote the names down so I can just look down and pray and get the word. So please listen. I'm not looking up because my neck hurts. That's all. Teresa, consistency is key for you. You're smart. You have good ideas. Um, you start acting like you're clueless when you're not following through on your own thoughts and ideas. So it's going to be important that you have moments like stop and check in with yourself. You've got to I feel like you have a release valve, and that there's so much that comes in during the day and you have to create a stop point and open a release valve and let out and then close it, and then you can take in more. But you've got to create moments, whether it's go outside, play a game, do a prayer, call a friend, have a snack, smell an essential oil. You've got to create what I call power plays. They are little things that you do that create power for yourself in moments where you're losing power. A power play. So create some power plays so that you don't interrupt your consistent action with distraction. Christina H. Here's how it works, sister. What you believe is what you achieve, not what you talk about, write down, or say with your words. A lot of us have confused affirmations with decrees and declarations. An affirmation should be like saying your name. You say it because you know it's true. You say it because you know it's true. Affirmations need to be said because you know they're true. Why? Otherwise, it's just lip service. And what we've talked ourselves into believing with this like law of attraction, which we've misunderstood, by the way, that's why we think this, is we think that if we say it, we'll attract it. But the thing is if you say it and you don't really believe it, you will reinforce the not having. You will not reinforce to getting it if you don't believe what you're affirming. Why? Because it's called affirming. And you know, when you go to do an affirmation and you're like, I am beautiful and peaceful, and this little voice goes, yeah, right. You ever had that happen? You ever go to do an affirmation? You're like, I am love. Except when you're a bitch to your husband. You ever hear that voice? You ever go, is it just me? Am I the only one? Because what you believe is what you achieve. What you believe. And so if what you say is, I am open to receiving the loving relationship of my lifetime. But what you believe is, oh God, I don't know if I could ever do another relationship again. The way I've been abused and used, the last time I ruined the last one, that was totally me that I did the last one. The last one, it was totally on me. It was so good. I was awesome. If that's what you believe, then this, I'm open to receiving this thing, that's now just creating an enemy in your own bed. What would be honest is to say, I am open to healing and receiving and giving love. Because it acknowledges the truth of where you are and where you aim to be, but that you're in a process and that you will continue to process. And so, Christina, believing is way more important than anything else. It is the make it real factor. Remember the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible? What did Jesus tell her? Woman, how did you heal? According to your faith. It was your faith that healed you. You believed. All I have to do is touch the hem of his garment. Finished in a left. That's exactly what happened. You think you believed it and you achieved it. So believe. Nancy Castaneda. Family first. Family first. Nancy, I've prayed 3 times. Is there anything else I should say to her? And that's all I get. Family first, Nancy. Family first. So I pray that blesses you, sis. Jay Lee. Is Jay Lee still here? Yes, Jay Lee just liked the live. Thanks, Jay Lee. Jay Lee, get organized and get moving. The Spirit says, get organized and get moving. Do not slow things down unnecessarily. If I have not given you a word and you want a prophetic word, whether you are on TikTok, in Activating the Great I Am on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, put a note down in the chat. Let me see you. And I'm happy to give you a prophetic word. Otherwise, we're just about to close up in prayer for the night. Did I miss anybody? Brigitte, she said me. Hey, Bri Rose. And Maddie, I saw you, Maddie. And Denise. All right. We'll do these three, and then we'll be complete for the night. And I'll be praying for everyone. Oh, Miss Ma'am. I'll include you, Miss Ma'am. That's it. After Miss Ma'am, mods, anybody after Miss Ma'am, just please tell them to come back or have them book a connect call. Okay. Appreciate you right back, Parker. God bless you, buddy. And who is this over here on Facebook that says word? Just give me a first name so I can write it down. Trace. Oh, my honor, sis. All right, here we go. Ready? Bri Rose. Don't forget that feelings are fleeting. Feelings are fleeting. It's the thing that you want to put focus on is as you experience an emotion, process the emotion. So that they don't take you down unnecessary courses. Process them as they happen. Let yourself have a feeling, have an emotion, think it through, consider different sides. In my programs with my clients, I tell my clients to let your emotion have a seat at the table with you. Ask it, what do you want? What do you need to tell me? Because why they end up sticking around and concreting and staying with us, and then the feelings aren't fleeting, we stay in a particular course, is because they don't get processed. It gets stuck. And so what was meant to come and go has come and stayed around. And so process them as they come in or as quickly as possible, right? Sometimes stuff happens. You might have to wait till tonight, tomorrow, the next day, next week with your therapist. I don't know. But make a note. Write it down. Process it as soon as you can. And be supported along the way if you need to. Maddie. Maddie, you were made to be fearless, Maddie. Bridget says, wow, amazing. Thank you. You're welcome, sister. Maddie, you were made to be fearless. So there's a couple double-edged swords about this, though. Number one, your being fearless creates awkwardness for others. Ultimately, because it's raising awareness to their fear. So it's kind of like awkward, like I was like afraid to tread through water and I'm like sticking my toe in and I'm like, and then here comes Maddie like, and just walks right across the water. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't that deep after all. It makes it awkward for me. The awkward moment is for me. The thing is that you feel it because you're sensitive spiritually. You feel that awkwardness for me, in me, through me, and you relate to it as yourself. You're like, awkward feeling, awkward feeling. And so then you stop taking fearless acts because you don't want to feel that awkwardness, but then you're living out my fear in your walk. And all the intuitives said, amen. So here's the thing, my intuitive ones, my empathic ones. Someone else could be having an experience, but you're feeling it with them. You got to check in with yourself and go, is this my experience? Is this my spirit advising me? Okay, well, excuse me, you dropped this. It's yours. You dropped this. It's yours. And Maddie, I don't know if you're in a position to book a session with me, like financially speaking, but at the very least, book a connect call. I will guide you through some practices to keep you clearing so that you're not bundled up with that stuff. You've got to get to a place where you're feeling your feelings and other people's feelings is not your business. Okay? Roger that, Maddie. Denise, and then Tracy for the end of our night. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for getting us over 36,000 likes. I appreciate Tova and Katrina and others for reminding everyone to tap. Appreciate the audience growing over on our multi-stream platform here with Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I really, really appreciate all of you supporting me and our ministry and the growth of the work that we're doing. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the follow, Harlow Dean. Appreciate you. All right, Denise. So, Denise, that last word probably made a lot of sense to you, huh? That word to Maddie probably made a lot of sense to you, didn't it, Denise? Here's the word for Denise. Don't back off when you're uncomfortable. Denise said, yep. Sure does. Sure did make sense. Denise, the word for you is don't back down when you're uncomfortable. Press in. Now, I'm not, look, when I say that stuff, you guys, I don't mean when you're uncomfortable putting a pair of shoes on because they're 3 sizes too small, you should shove them on anyway. We got to make it make sense, friends, right? We got to make it make sense. Oops, my TikTok phone is down. My device for TikTok is down to just a few percent, so it's good we're wrapping up. You said OMG. Why'd you say OMG, Denise? So, Denise, just like with Maddie, when you get uncomfortable, you can't back down. That's when you've really got to stand your ground because you're not doing what you're doing in those moments. What you're doing because you're compelled. Okay? Listen, why you are doing what you're doing is because you are compelled. When you are compelled, that's from an inner place. So you're honoring your inner place. And then you get uncomfortable. Whatever is triggering that uncomfortable, you have to say, I let it go. I am firm in my stand and I'm acting firmly. Okay, Denise? You have to create for yourself a bridge statement. A word in due season. Right on, sister. Denise, I also feel like you should work with me a little bit one-on-one. So even if it's just booking a connect call, please do that. My connect calls are free, y'all. They're so that you can do a meet and greet with me if you don't know me and you're not familiar with me. Tova, thank you for those 15 invitations you sent out with tonight's live. I'm really grateful. it's a meet and greet for those of you who don't know me. Sometimes it's a chance for me to pray for you, even if whether we know each other or not. Just, Rebecca, would you please pray over me, pray for the situation? Happy to do that. Sometimes it's giving you an extended word. Sometimes, so the Connect call is there. It is a public service. Please do not be afraid to take. Okay? If you're in your season of need, you're in a season of take, please take. If you're in your season of having and you can give, we are a nonprofit ministry. Please give. Your giving helps us give to people at another time who do not have, whether that's the classes and scholarships, the one-on-one care, supplements to people. We'll give gas cards to people, cash. We've helped people pay for people's housing. We've paid for people's prescriptions. We've put gas in people's cars. We've gotten people clothes for interviews. So if you're, is that my good buddy notification? Oh, it's a different notification. Hi, buddy. Different person. So if you're someone who's in the season of giving, then give. By all means. We receive humbly, appreciatively, and joyfully. But some of you are in your season of take, of need. And I don't want you ever to feel like when it comes to me and the Godly Woman and Heaven on Earth Ministries, I don't want you ever to feel like, no, but I can't, or she just says that to be nice, or she's in ministry, she's got to say stuff like that. No, I don't. I don't got to say nary a thing. I don't got to say a nary a thing. I practice what I preach, and I am telling you with all my heart that I know discernedly by spirit that some of you are in seasons of severe lack and need. And I have been there. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that we're part of a continuum and that we have to be receiving when it's our season to receive and giving when it's our season to give. Because if it's your season to give and you're hoarding, you're blocking up the pipeline of flow in your own life. You ever heard the term blocking your blessings? Yeah. If you have and you're not giving, you're blocking your blessings. But guess what? If you need and you're not receiving, guess what? You're blocking your blessings. And guess what? You're not just blocking your blessings, you are blocking blessings, the flow, the cosmic flow. You're a part of it. Don't act like you're not. So if you're out of whack and you're out of flow, then you're backing up traffic. And now 17 of us end up out of flow because we've been hanging out with you. And you won't receive, and we can't give. You got us all constipated spiritually. So quit it. Quit it. I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission. If you need somebody's permission, take mine. Blame me. Say Rebecca said. But when it comes to me in this ministry, I am all about seasons. And I honor seasons. And when you honor your seasons, harvest will not fail you. But if you're in planting season over there kicking the dirt because it ain't giving you fruit, there's no harvest. You're done. If you just planted a few weeks ago and you got a little sprout and you're over there kicking the dirt because you don't have fruit, you're blocking your blessings. You're ruining your own harvest because you're not honoring your season. No, I don't need anything. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anything. I can do it on my own. No, you act like you got fruit over there. Don't act like you got fruit. You lack fruit. So somebody who's got fruit is going to need to come and share some fruit until you got your own fruit. You're in a sprouting season. And that's okay. Because come a few weeks down the road, few months, few years, you're in season. Now you got, and they need right on time for such a time as this. All right. Tracy. Tracy. All right, Trace. Employ your gifts for your own sake. I'm going to give those last two a word. I just need the teenager's name, and I'll give a word to Ryford. Tracy, employ your gifts for your own sake. And specifically, what I got right after that was parentheses, earn money. Your gifts are strong, and they're the kind of gifts that are marketable and monetizable. Number 2, your ministry is monetary. And number 3, don't fear finances. And if you want to schedule a connect call, we can talk more, sis. But there's a lot to that, Trace. That's a multi-pronged. I don't know what you're being shown spiritually, prophetically, when I say this to you. But those are not all one thing. What I just read, that's not all talking about one thing. It's all applying to you, but it's not all one thing. That's a multi-pronged thing. So you've got a very multifaceted word that is taking you into, that's applying to different things. So I pray that blesses you. And I love you. Speaking of people being there in seasons, she said it makes perfect sense. Praise God. Speaking of people, Tracy's a friend of mine who I've known for a lot of years, but we weren't close. We found out years after we were in high school, after high school, that we'd had a connection all along, that my godparents were my godparents had a son who was her father's best friend. I had no idea. We went to school for a million years, didn't know that. Found out later. During one of the hardest seasons that Brian and I went through, Tracy and her family were there to support us, to pray for us, to bless us with things, with money, with food, with baby stuff, with babysitting. And they were salve in a season where we had wounds to salve. She was also on my prayer team when I started the ministry 12 years ago. And now today, I haven't talked to her in ages. And now today she's on a live where I'm giving prophetic word. And I have the profound privilege of having the Holy Spirit give me a word that will take her and her life and ministry in a blessed direction. But would I be here sitting here to be that for her had she not been sitting there to be that for me 12 years ago? These are the kinds of things we have to stop and ask ourselves, because sometimes everything is not for right now. Everything is not for right now. Moses was given a message. He was the one that was the catalyst to free the children of Israel from their bondage under Egyptian rule and reign. But it was generations later when the freedom happened. They took his bones with them when they went. That's why I encourage you to be fearless. Those of you who get messages about fearlessness, that's what that's about. Because if you are afraid right now, you are going to prevent the thing that is needing and wanting and waiting to happen later. You got to keep it moving, people. Keep it moving. All right. There are two people that I said, oops, hold on. I'm moving my screen around. All right. So, Ryferg, are you still here? Ryford, are you still here? All right, right on. Listen, my friend, you are deserving and worthy of taking time, taking energy, taking money, taking focus, and putting it on healing and addressing the things that walk around haunting you. You are way too smart. You're way too creative. And I mean, you're just cool. That's the spirit talking, by the way. You're way too cool to be held down and held back by shadows of a past, shadows of people that you at some point perceived as bigger than you, because nothing's bigger than you. You are the great I am incarnate. You are the great I am incarnate, people. And so, if you would be open to calling and talking to me, I'd be happy to support you. I'd be happy to support you. And then the other person was Twee and Jeremy, right? So Twee, making a bold impact, having a bold life requires being bold on the inside first. A lot of people live bold on the outside and then they end up regretting a bunch of ish. Okay? You can be bold, but you can also measure twice and cut once. Those aren't mutually exclusive. It's not like you have to be bold, therefore you have to be brass, therefore you have to be, obnoxious. Bold can be refined. Bold can have class. Bold can be strategic and calculated. It does not need to be bonkers. So I feel like you're trying to figure out how to be bold. And what I would say is go inward. I know it seems like being bold would mean go out, but go out is the consequence of having gone in clearly first. Sometimes people will ask me if I think I'll ever not succeed in my vision for my work, and I tell them I'm never afraid that I'll not succeed. I have momentary doubts of, can I accomplish a thing by a deadline, or I'm more concerned about time frames. But do I have it in me? Heck yeah. I wouldn't have it as a vision if I didn't have it in me to fulfill the vision. I'm not a pear hoping to be an apple. I'm an apple seed, evolving and growing and becoming the apple. And some of us, when we don't see the apple yet, we think, I must not be one. And then we start thinking of what else we must be. But give it a minute. Let it evolve. Let the becoming become. I hope that made sense. Yeah, you don't have to try to be bold. You are bold. You're just evolving into the bold that you're meant to be. And it's really important. Sorry, my lips are really dry right now. I got to take a minute to. Um, yeah, you're already bold. Now you're just finessing and becoming the proper external outward expression of it. And that takes really going in to do it. And I'm really proud of you. Way to be way to be a teenager having this conversation, little sister. All right. And the last word of the night is for Jeremy. Jeremy, you still here, Jer? He said, I'm here, Mama. Jeremy, ready? Care for others. Jeremy, care for others. Care for yourself more. Listen, I could just say this to everybody all the time, but some of us more than others need to hear it. And Jeremy is obviously the captain of the ship tonight. If you are not caring for yourself more than you are caring for others, then you will experience a deficit. You will experience at some point a bankruptcy that will hit you. It's fine to give care to others, but you have to care for yourself more. And some people will say, oh, I know, Rebecca, that way I can care for them. No, I'm not talking about anybody else right now. Care for yourself more than anything else in this world. But that means really care. That means genuinely. Who can look up the definition of care for me? Like a definition, though, not like what you say it is. Can someone put look up a definition? Jeremy, I was just saying tonight that I don't know how to love myself and never have. Jeremy, book a connect call with me, buddy. Book a connect call with me. Do you know why that's really important? And do you know why it's important that he said love, but I said care? I'm going to tell you something. And this is why I want you to call me. Because you literally have your finger on the button of my entire ministry's purpose. Here's how. Many moons ago, like 12 years ago, I received a word. And the word was to establish a ministry built on Andrea on the job, Johnny on the spot. the provision of what is necessary for health, welfare, maintenance, and protection, Jeremy, of someone or something. Y'all, I want y'all to really hang with this for a minute, okay? Additionally, serious attention. Remember, we talked earlier about attention and intention? Attention, right here. Serious attention or consideration applied to doing something correctly or to avoid damage or risk. Ya Allah. Do y'all get that? And so the Lord called me to ministry by telling me one day Romans 13:8 through 10. Owe no man anything, but love one another, for he who loves his neighbor has fulfilled the law, which says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet. And if there is any other commandment, it is fulfilled in the saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And I said, okay, to the Spirit. I'm like, okay, so you want me to teach people to love each other as themselves? And the Spirit said, nah, no, they're already doing that. That's the problem. They already love each other the way they love themselves. The problem is they don't love themselves. I said, so do you want me to teach them to love themselves? And the Spirit said, you can't. I said, I can't teach them to love themselves? He said, no. But you can teach them to take care of themselves. And I was given a vision. Like, because back then my youngest was just a baby. And I was given this vision like, imagine you're someone who doesn't like kids, doesn't want kids, has no interest in kids. But you and I are friends. We're friends. And I have an emergency. And I call you and I say, I need to bring the baby over for an hour. And I'll be back. It's an emergency. And because you're my friend, you take the baby. And for the hour, you have to change diapers. You got to do bottles. You got to do that walk and tap thing that you have to do with babies sometimes, right? And when I get back there in the hour, you are like, hallelujah. All right, have a great night. Glad it worked out. You are glad that is finished. But let me tell you something. For the rest of that kid's life or yours, you're going to run into them and me at a store, and you're going to say, is that my little guy that is that the one that came over that time? Is that the one that you will have established a bond, and it will be love because you took care. Caring for something and someone establishes an intrinsic bond of love. It's part of the formula. So Jeremy, the fact that you said you prayed earlier and had with the thought that you don't know how to love yourself and never have is something that I am directly here to help people achieve. I am here to help you achieve knowing yourself, loving yourself, and living a life from your truest self, starting with teaching you how to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, sexually, in your relationships, in your career, cleaning your house, taking care of yourself. Y'all, taking care of yourself is truly the ultimate expression of the love you have for yourself. And I love that the final word for tonight that we thought was going to be 3 people ago was actually for Jeremy, and that it brought me to the very scripture that the Holy Spirit led me to November 12 years ago. This is literally the terrain that founded a healing ministry. Why am I not just any old ministry? Why am I not just teaching out of the Bible? Isn't it enough, Rebecca, to teach the freaking Aramaic? Like, that's not a full-time job? Why don't you be a holistic practitioner? Well, yeah, because God knew what I didn't. And that is that to genuinely live the great I am, you got to deal with the great I ain't. And that is your human. The great denier. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that um, that's where the dice landed to end our evening. And Jeremy, truly, I hope you and I hope, listen, I hope as many of you as possible will schedule a connect call. There's no obligation. You don't have to, pay for anything. If you want to, you can. If you want to do the connect call and then say, you know what, now I'm going to book a full session with you. I really want more of this and at a deeper level, expandedly, then yeah, absolutely, those cost. But you can book 30 or 60-minute sessions to those. For those of you that know you want to work with me, if you purchase 12 sessions up front, your 13th session is free and you get 50% off of uh, any seminar that you take, any of my classes that you take during your 13 weeks of one-on-ones. So some people, that's appealing to them. They know they want to get into a true process with me. Some people know that 90 days isn't enough. And so they start with a 90-day and then they re-up another 90-day and then they re-up another 90-day. I don't do traditional therapy. I'm not a therapist. I am a certified holistic health practitioner. I am a purpose coach, and I am a prophetic minister of the gospel. And I use all of that along with 50 years of my own life experience. And being a wife and an ex-wife and a wife and a stepmother and a biological mother and a comedian and an executive of senior living, and you know, I got stories, I got history, I got background, I got there's water under my bridge. So, but it's all here for you. Truly, it is my joy. It is my joy to have my life be a testimony and this ministry be a bridge for your healing. So thank you to everyone. I know we're on way late. I just realized the time. Thank you to the moderators for sticking around. I know some of y'all, your eyes are bleeding probably. I love the mods. Give it up for the mods. Go follow the mods. And really, if you get value from this conversation, please consider giving to our ministry. Every dollar helps. Literally, a dollar. $1 here is worth thousands in Uganda, and we're out to build a well and continue to feed a community there, clothe them, get them medicine, help with schooling, you know. So you're really the key to so much. Those of you who've shared, that costs nothing to share and bring more people into the fold. Maybe you can't give financially, but you invite 10 friends who can, right? You don't know what you don't know. But when we share, we multiply ourselves and we compound our impact. And so you are all truly creating with me a movement. I couldn't do it without you. That's not a cliche. I couldn't do it without you. And I'm grateful that we're doing it uh, in a true spirit with one another. And I know that that's who sits at this table with me, is people with the true spirit in them and a desire to live and manifest from that true spirit. Tova, I'm right there with you, sister. Cheers. I'm glad that we've got the multi-streaming now because Facebook is recording and our Activating Your Great I Am group is keeping now the chronicles of our lives that have been hoarded over on TikTok. I have felt bad about that, but I couldn't create a sustainable way to do all of it. And I think we may have just struck gold. So big thanks to Jackie Moore, my apprentice and holistic mom coach for the Godly Woman. She is leads the social media team for our work and found me this multi-streaming platform. So this is helping a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So thank you all. God bless you. I appreciate you. Listen, tomorrow's July 7th. Listen, Linda, listen, honey, listen. Tomorrow is the Spiritual Gifts Workshop. It's called Hearing from God, a Spiritual Gifts Workshop. Tomorrow night, $33. If the money is an issue, please send me an email. But tomorrow night from 6 to 9 p.m., if you would like to discover what your gifts are, how the Spirit meant to give them, how you're to use them, and then to start answering questions about your life that you've been seeking direction on and you would like to hear from the Spirit on it tomorrow, not through me, through you, then I really hope you will join us. livinggodspromises.com. You can register tomorrow night, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. It's $33. If money is a barrier, let me know and I will make it not be a barrier. But that's happening tomorrow night. All right. Y'all click the link in my bio to find out about anything else that's happening. And of course, to go over to Activating Your Great I Am on Facebook and join us in our container there for our community. I appreciate every one of you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Good night. Peace.